where we are right now is we're at a gridlock again, and I've been working on this issue for 15 years now, and I've seen moments where we're able to find consensus, and those are fleeting moments in public policy making on any issue, and it's important that you seize them, and you really when you find that moment where there's some consensus, that you really act on it and use that energy and momentum. We spent the first part of the administration, the first term of the president's time here in office, really trying to move forward with legislation, but not really having partners on both sides of the aisle, because I think he's always recognized that in order for anything to move forward in the immigration space, there really does have to be some coming together of Democrats and Republicans and independents as well. So we were really at a gridlock for many years, and then it did take an election to, I think, shake loose things. The president got his second term in office, and it seemed like Republicans were interested in thinking through their positions and views on this issue, and trying to actually wade into the debate and try to find a solution. And so in 2013, we saw a lot of progress. As a former Senate staffer, the idea that a comprehensive immigration reform bill would get introduced in April, marked up in May, and then be on the floor in June, in the first 6 months of the Congress, was amazing. I always joke to people that, it takes the Senate 2 years to pass a bill naming a post office after somebody. So for us to be able to do that, that several hundred-page bill, to be able to move that forward was really remarkable. I think it gave people hope and confidence in our government that we were able to take on a really tough issue. And as an administration, we worked behind the scenes with Democrats and Republicans to try to make that bill better as they were introducing it, as amendments were coming forward, so that things could be workable. We may not have always agreed with the policy thoughts and ideas, but we wanted to make sure that whatever ended up in a final product was actually implementable, because we were the ones that were going to have to be implementing it. In the same way, I know when I was on the Hill in 06 and 07 during the bipartisan debates back then, the Bush administration was very active as well, and somewhat above, in the public eye, but also behind the scenes, trying to help us make that bill better. And I think that, we got pretty far in 06, not as far as we wanted to in 07, and then it took us a few years to get to a place again that we got to in 2013 when we passed the Senate bill with bipartisan support. And then really from there, I think that instead of the ideas being the focus, Barry talked a little bit about this, the rhetoric kind of took over. And so even though the ideas underlying the bill, I think, were largely supported by the American public, by members of Congress, including the House of Representatives, we weren't able to get there because that happens in all kinds of debates, right? The rhetoric kind of gets in the way of the ideas, and we have to find a way as policymakers to wade through the rhetoric and really try to find common ground and move discussions forward and find solutions. So back last June, it's almost been a year now, the president decided that he could wait no longer. He waited 5.5 years to try to see legislation out, and I think based on private conversations he was having with folks, realized that there was going to be kind of not hope for action in the last Congress, and that would mean, as you all know, that in this Congress we would have to start all over in the Senate, and there were changed politics in the Senate, particularly with 2016 looming, and we were, I think we were all worried about what that would mean. We didn't know in June, but we knew that there was possibilities, and he decided that he needed to move forward and take a series of actions to try to improve the system within the confines of the law.